What's going on, you guys? My name is Kaotonix, and I'm going to show you guys how I made In the AM today. First things first, I almost didn't make this video because I opened up my project file and I thought there was going to be a complicated array of items and things to explain and mixing techniques and all this routing for my vocals and all this stuff, but turns out I barely mixed this track. Yeah, so, but I think that there's value in talking about a track like this and showing you guys sometimes the fundamentals can outweigh the techniques, if that makes any sense. As you can see here, this is my mixing track. Normally it looks crazy. I have so much stuff going on here, but there's only one or two things that are really mixed and have effects and stuff, and that's my vocals. Everything else was most likely leveled off and done here. So it goes to show you that if it sounds good, sometimes you just don't need to fix certain things. The very first thing that we have here is auto gun, and you'll see a theme on this where a lot of these VSTs and plugins are just stock. And I made this song a long time ago. I had nice plugins, but I decided not to use them because, you know, these things, sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate the process. Look at the velocity on this. It's all the same. It's not even randomized. So very first thing here starts like this.
How you suck.
I done woke up in the AM.
All right, a few things to unpack with just that intro. This auto gun here, it's the roaring choir auto gun. It sounds nice, soft. And then a crash. And then this piano layer here. Am I still recording? Yep. This piano layer here, I use the Labs piano. This is pretty nice. It's free, so go check them out. And then my mom's tag here,
How you suck.
which I love. Shout out to my moms. And then the percussion comes in here. Hat, snare, rim shot. Super simple. And what's worth noting here is this background stuff that maybe isn't normal, which I want to point out. These seagulls, usually people put seagulls or kids playing in the background or the ocean or something like that in the background to create a vibe, an atmosphere. But what I did was I threw it into a slicing channel, a Slice X in FL Studio, and I played it to the rhythm. We also have this one. So those are sound waves, panned left, panned hard left, hard right. And, you know, it creates a different kind of atmosphere where it's an atmosphere, but the atmosphere is going with the beat.
How you suck.
And that'll make a lot more sense once the beat actually hits. I'll go straight into how I mix my vocals here.
I done woke up in the AM.
And the way that is mixed is it starts off with a parametric EQ. I always start my vocal mixes off with this EQ so I can roll off the low end. Pitcher, it's the stock plugin in FL Studio for fixing your pitch. I'm not a really great singer, but that's okay because I have pitcher. So what people normally use would be, I guess, auto-tune, or Waves also has a plugin, Waves Tune, which I think is probably a lot more affordable. Auto-tune is nice, but it's really expensive, and I don't work with any artists. I don't work with anyone that needs to have a specific auto-tune sound, and so I just use pitcher. It works for me. After that, after EQ and pitch correction, I usually go straight into compression. So I'm using a Fruity limiter to compress the sound.
I done woke up in the AM.
It's a pretty harsh compression. I normally wouldn't do it this hard, but you know, if it works, if it works. If it works, it works. Vocal Rider Stereo. This is another Waves plugin. I love Waves plugins because they're such a great return on investment. They're not super expensive. You know, you can get them on sale for like 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, and they all work really, really well, and it's probably why professionals use them as well. Some other companies, they have plugins for like $200-300 and they're okay. They maybe won't make that much of a difference. So Vocal Rider is the same thing as a compressor in a sense, but it's actually riding the volume fader as the track is going to a designated target here.
I done woke up in the AM. I done woke up in the AM.
As you can see, sometimes it's pulling the fader back, sometimes it's pushing it forward, and this is what they would do in recording studios where someone's actually tracking it and doing this manually. I think Dr. Dre and Eminem and Timbaland, they probably all used to do this. Okay. This plugin changed my life. When I was learning about compression and vocals and things like that, I thought that compressors all really did the same thing, which they technically do. They compress the peak of a sound so that you can raise the volume of the lower parts of the sound so that it's all more leveled out, gives you some headroom so you can raise the volume of the entire sound. And what I didn't realize was all of the tones that you get, the warmth, the difference that you get with different compressors. So stock plugins, stock compressors are great. They're fine. I use them. I use Fruity Limiter, but the difference is the tone that you get. So here, when I show you, maybe it's a volume difference more than anything, but just an illustration.
I done woke up in the AM. I done woke up in the AM.
So maybe to you it just sounds a little bit louder, but when you're using it enough, you realize that it is the exact, just turning up the volume sounds different than if you were to put this compressor on it. And this compressor sounds different than, let's say, a different compressor that you use. Another compressor on top of that, so it's okay to use multiple compressors in the chain. It's probably a good idea, so you're not having one compressor do too much of the work or one EQ do too much of the work. So this combo here is really where I found my sweet spot for vocals. Having a CLA2A and this Jack Joseph Puig vocal plugin from Waves, it's awesome. I mean, it has so much that you need, so much that you can get from other plugins, but it has it all in one place, and it has de-esser, compression. But I just like the way it sounds on the default male one. I don't mess with any of this stuff. It just sounds nice. And the beauty of it is that the space and the attitude and the presence, all these extra things, all the plugins that do crazy, awesome, cool stuff like this, or, I guess I haven't used Kyle's drip plugin. Shout out to Kyle. But, they're all doing the same things. It's reverb, compression, EQ, distortion, flangers, phasers, the list goes on. But it's the way that it's organized in a plugin that just creates the sound that you're looking for and has verbal representations of what you're looking for, like magic and space, attitude, presence. So this is great. I think I got it on sale for like 35 or 40 bucks. It's a great plugin. I can't recommend it enough. Waves plugins are awesome. And then at the end of it, I just have this fruity reverb. And that's it. But what really makes a big difference here also is that I routed my vocals to a send track where I have a little altar boy and also a delay, and then and then I also EQ'd that as well. And I'll show you what that sounds like. So
I done woke up in the AM. I done woke up in the AM.
So that's what it sounds like. It's, you know, it fills out the space in the higher ends and the higher frequencies that my voice just can't hit. And even if I have a backing track, like my voice is still the same in the backing track. So this allows me to fill in that space, but make it quiet enough so that it doesn't seem like I have a backup singer, let's say. And you can change the format on it. This little Altar Boy plugin is incredible from Soundtoys. Soundtoys plugins are great. They're a bit expensive, but they do the job and they do it really well.
I done woke up in the AM. I done woke up in the AM. Tell me how to play I'm on. Tell me how to play.
All right. So that plugin, you can hear it. Once you use it, you can hear it across the map. Every big name producer has probably used this plugin. Maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't really know. But I can hear it in Madion and Porter songs. I can hear it in... one of the producers for BTS has used it. Oh, Kenny Beats. Okay. And then there's also a backing vocal here.
I done woke up in the AM.
Apart from all the normal stuff, there's a PanMan, which is from Soundtoys, panning it back and forth. There's also a stock fruity flanger as well. Adds some movement to the vocals, and when you put it all together, it sounds like this.
I done woke up in the AM.
Okay. And then when this beat drops, this is what the beat is. So apart from what we've already talked about, there's a melody, there's a boo bass at the higher end. This is stock. It creates kind of like a nice little plucking sound, super dry. Stock bass, boo bass, and then a kick. And that's it. Super simple. Now the hiccup sounds. Those are just, I think it's from an anime. I don't remember where I got it from exactly, but I just chopped that up and then and played the sounds that I thought were cool. This is just Harmless. Harmless is a stock plugin. I learned how to use this front and back. It's a great plugin, it's free, and it's super powerful. This sound right here is Autogun. That's a flute. And then when this part comes in, there's something different.
Feel down, tell me you say.
And it's this backing track that sounds like this.
Feel down, tell me you say. I don't need no day. Feel down, tell me what you say. I'm gonna be the one feel day.
And what that is it's going to picture, and I think I learned this from Madion. It's using the MIDI octaves harmonized format, and it's taking the sound and harmonizing it, and in that this picture is being controlled by MIDI. This MIDI out here. See how it's port 10? It's routed to port 10 here, and these notes control the pitcher, which then controls my voice.
Feel down, feel down, tell me you say I.
Yep. And then apart from that, everything else is pretty much the same.
I done woke up in the AM.
And yeah, I think those are all the elements. Everything else just kind of repeats near the end. Let me show you my master track. So master track, really, really simple. I'll show you the main differentiator between my mixes sounding nice, loud, full versus not. And that's Fruity Soft Clipper. But first thing I do is I cut off about 30 hertz in the low end, 18 kilohertz in the high end. There's a default right here that you can choose, and then I usually have RC20. I turn it off right here because I'm talking, but I use RC20 for so many different things. This is one of the best investments you can make. Everyone uses it, so you know it might sound similar to what other producers are doing, but it has a lot of great tools like noise, wobble, distortion, etc. And what I use it for a lot is just kind of like the vinyl crackling sound in the background. I have another EQ. I boost about 6K, and then soft clipper. Soft clipper going into the limiter. So I set my ceiling here at minus 0.1 dB just to account for any type of clipping that occurs. I think that's it. Appreciate you guys following along, and you know I'm doing this one song a week thing. I'm on week number 6, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I was already able to, you know, have conversations with people that I normally wouldn't be able to have if I wasn't doing this. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys learned something, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Subscribe, like, you know, I'm trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers, and let me know if, you know, I can do anything to help. I'm pretty active on here and Instagram. But yeah, have a good day. Peace.